Hey, good morning. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about this Cobra refactoring project that I've got set up. And basically just kind of how the workflow is going to go, how we're going to solve this problem, basically. So first off, on the softlayer-cli project, we've got this main issue, which is going to track all the progress of everything else we're going to do, because this is a huge project, pretty much. So issue 403 is sort of the parent issue, and I've got sub-issues for every other command group that we're going to work on. I've already got the account and call API commands. I've already got a pull request open for those, so those are kind of half done. And so what I expect us all to do is we'll go in and grab ourselves a command to work on, assign it to ourselves, do the command, do the pull request. Once this pull request is done, mark these off with checks, and then we can keep going until we get everything done. Okay, so as an example, I'll start with, let's say the report one, because it's only got 2 commands in it, so it should be nice and easy to do. So 424, I'll open it up. I'll assign it to myself. The label, project, and milestones have already been filled out, so we don't need to worry about those. And the issue description, I've listed out what the command looks like at the moment. And so at the end, the command output should look very similar to this. So we expect to have the bandwidth and data center closure commands. Help, that's just added automatically, so we don't need to worry about that. Okay. So what I'm going to do... okay. So the main branch we're going to be working off of is the Cobra Commands branch. Okay, so we'll check that out. Since I've already got it, I don't need to create a new branch for it, obviously. So we'll get pull. Okay. And since it's already up to date, we're already good to go. Most of my groundwork is in a branch that hasn't been merged in yet. So we do need to merge that in real quick. So git merge cobraRefactor. Okay. And so once my open pull request is merged in, which is this one right here, once this has been merged, the main branch will be caught up like this anyway. So we'll go get checkout Cobra report. Okay. So when you create a branch, it should have the word Cobra in it, and it should also have the group of commands you're working on in it. And if you need to make multiple branches for multiple pull requests, you can do like -1, -2, -3, whatever. But since I'm just going to do it in one, we'll just do it like that. So, got a new branch. Great. Okay. And so we should also pull up. Okay, so this main issue has all of the sort of notes I created on how to do the refactoring. So we'll probably want to keep this open so we can reference it. Okay, so looking at the code itself, I'm going to keep the account command open over here so I can reference it, because it's a command that's done and is going to serve as a good example for us. Okay, so we need to look in reports. We're doing reports. Where is it? There it is. We'll start with the reports base class, okay? Let me just close these so they're not in my way. Okay, so since we're doing the reports action, we need to go into the softlayer-cli plugin actions file. This is where we used to define all the commands for the old library. So we're going to need to remove them from here first so we know that we've done them. So we'll look for SL reports. Okay, here. So I'll just take this and delete it. There we go. That's done. That's gone. Probably also need to delete the include as well. Okay, and then we need to open the plugin. So softlayer-cli plugin.go. This file is what's going to define. This file defines the base softlayer command, and it does that down here. Get Cobra top command. And this command is going to pull in each of the command groups and add it to that top level command. So here we see we are doing that with the call API and account command group. So we got these two right here added in. So we're going to need to do a third one for reports. So we'll do reports, and we'll keep this same pattern. We'll do setup Cobra commands, and we'll pass in SL command, which is this guy right here. Okay, we'll just move you over here. Okay, so in reports, so we need to keep the namespace. That's fine, but reports metadata, that's going to go, and we're going to be replacing that with a command called setup Cobra commands, like this. And we will put it up here. We don't need to have this in here anymore. Okay, so setup Cobra commands. The use is going to be the same thing as the name and the metadata. The short is going to be the same thing as the description. And we don't need usage here, right? This is going to be automatically generated by Cobra, so we don't need this. And the sub commands are going to be handled by this add command bit. So we'll do not these. We'll delete this. We don't need this anymore. Okay, so these add commands are going to be replaced by this command action binding. So we'll do new DC closure command and new bandwidth command. And we can delete everything else since we don't need that. It's all from the account stuff. Okay, we can delete this. We don't need it. Okay, we need to import Cobra. Okay. Session. Okay, we can delete this because we've copied it all already. So we don't need session. I don't need terminal. We do need plugin. Okay, we need IATN. We do not need managers. Okay, that takes out a lot of the includes that we don't need. All right, great. Okay, we'll do Cobra goes first because it's kind of like a third party, and then we have the GitHub one second. Okay, great. Okay, we'll look up the account test. Okay, and so reports test. I'll open that up. Look at them side by side. Okay, so the test manager. Okay, that's fine. We don't need to check for available commands anymore since we don't need to worry about the metadata and stuff anymore. So we can delete these. And this test is going to be a lot simpler because of the way we're doing things now. So we got, let's see. So we need to test the namespace. Okay, we don't need to test metadata. We can just delete that. We got the namespace. That's good. New commands testable. Okay, so we don't need to have test actions. And delete that. No action bindings. Okay, so we do need to set up the commands. Okay, we can delete all this. Okay. Commands equal reports dot setup. Okay, we need a SL meta. This copy. Okay. We can remove context. Don't need that. Okay, and we'll just do a quick test to make sure. The reports or report? Report. Okay. And so that just makes sure that setup Cobra command returns us a command that we can use, and that's great. Okay, we got the namespace. Let me just say test report commands because that's a little more descriptive. We don't need context. Okay, so that trims out a lot of that junk, and the reports test is now done. From there, we need to edit the bandwidth and DC closures commands. And I have another video on how to do the commands themselves specifically. So that should get you to the point where you can refactor a group of commands. And then my other video will go into detail about how to edit the specific commands themselves. And if you ever got any worries, you can just look at this refactoring pattern, and it's got most of this stuff already written down in sort of the right order. I just did this video to hopefully help illustrate and kind of see how I changed the code, and hopefully that'll help make sense of this huge block of text that I've written out. Because I realized that without this kind of context, this sort of text is probably very daunting and a little unreadable. But hopefully these videos help. If you have any questions, always please feel free to let me know. And if you ever notice anything that could be done easier or have a better pattern, obviously let me know about that too. And definitely make sure to check out the documentation. So the Cobra project itself has a pretty good README here on how, it's right here, on how all this works at a very high level. And then it's also got the Go reference, which specifically labels out all the functions and things that are available for the commands. The biggest one is going to be the flags. Where's the flags? Here, flag set. If we open this up, this package is going to define all of the specific flags you can set and all their parameters and all that good stuff. But that's all the documentation, and you should be able to read that pretty well. Anyway, I hope this was helpful, and I look forward to seeing all the pull requests. Thank you very much.